Hey guys, and welcome back on my YouTube channel. It's your boy Troll. So, in today's video, we're gonna discuss about another topic that was requested on Discord, which is basically a guide for the artifacts. And to be quite honest, I haven't done one yet, and there is not much about it on YouTube either, I think. I mean, there are some videos from some time ago, a long time ago, but nothing updated. So in today's video, we're gonna discuss about the artifacts, the dungeons, how does it work, how to unlock it, specific statistics, etc, etc. So we're gonna talk about everything in this video. But as always guys, make sure to subscribe. Those are all statistics. I saw a lot of you subscribing and I'm very thankful, but there is still a lot of place for improvement. Yes, and again, the subscription doesn't cost you anything. Your account will remain as free to play. I know someone said that is very funny, but it's true. It's for free and it helps me a lot. Okay, I need to stop saying it like if I'm reading a script, because I'm not. The recordings are live. Anyway guys, so let's jump into the video. We'll start by the dungeons and then we're gonna go into the statistics and more theory crafting, interesting stuff. So yeah, let's jump into the dungeons. So first of all, where do we farm artifacts and how we can unlock them? Because yes, the artifacts dungeons are in the same dungeons of the Dwarven Ruins. However, they are not accessible for everyone. Basically, in order to unlock artifact dungeons, you also need to awaken your characters. By awakening your character to Awaken 1, you will unlock the first dungeon, Nedja. By awakening your character to Awaken 3, you will unlock the dungeon Grolen, and obviously Awaken 5 will unlock you Maurius. Now the good thing about it, even if you unlock a dungeon, it doesn't mean you have to play only Awakened heroes. You can put anything you want. You're still gonna loot the artifacts for everyone, but obviously the artifacts can be only equipped on heroes that have the necessary awakening. So the very first dungeon, the dragon, will give you artifact number 1. Then the second dungeon will give you artifact number 2 and then 3. As you can see on below, you can see which artifacts they're gonna loot. And yeah, it's very pretty simple. The first one will always loot one of those 3. The second one will always loot one of those 4. However, the last one, there is way more loot, because the artifacts from the last dungeons are faction artifacts. So in total, there are 12 factions. However, there is an option on the drop settings in the last one to basically ban artifacts that you don't want to loot. As you can see, I banned those because there's literally no hero from those. Actually, this one I need to change. So there are literally no heroes from those ones that I have and I want to loot. So as you can see, select up to 5 artifacts to ban. The selected artifacts will not drop. So make sure you ban those you don't want, because these guys will not increase the chance of loot. You will basically never loot the ones that are selected. So make sure and beware of that. Confirm. Now, when it comes to the teams and farming, I will not go into the details because, to be quite honest, the Awakening dungeons are hard. Compared to the first 3 ones, it's a joke. Like, I can farm level 23 of, not all of them, Gwyneth is still not accessible, but for those ones, they are super hard. For example, Nedja, I'm only at stage 19 and it's not 100% success. Warren, I'm only on stage 16 and again it's not 100% success. And for the last one, I'm only on 15, but I was just lucky. I think I am only farming 13 or even 14. I don't think 14 is 100% either. So those stages are very hard and it's kind of end game content. However, what's nice, whenever you're gonna unlock those dungeons, you're gonna be able to obtain those specific loots for the first clear. So every time you're gonna clear for the very first time a level, you're gonna get eggs. Then here you're gonna get scrolls. Obviously it will start with scrolls and then it goes into legendary. And the very first you're gonna obtain legendary potions. Obviously I think it starts with the purple ones at the very beginning. So that's about the dungeons. Now, again, when it comes to the team, I'm literally using the team I would use on those ones because it's still too early to have specific teams for every dungeon. Basically, take whatever heroes you have and just try to push as far as you can. For now, there is no need to build special teams. It's not like we even have the resources to build those teams. So just take your best heroes, put them here, and try to push as far as you can. Yes, every boss has different mechanics, and you will need different, basically, buffs, debuffs, etc., etc. For example, this one, if I'm not mistaken, this one does more damage if your HP is below 50%. This one I believe deals, generally speaking, more damage if you have if you don't have a shield. There you go. Yeah, it will incline stun on the will have no shield and does basically more damage. So for everyone who doesn't have a shield, you get more damage. Again, Wim Liz are great for this one. And the third one, to be quite honest, I don't remember what are the specifics. Frostmark. This one, basically, you're gonna need someone who cleanse you all the time, because or apply effect resistance, because this boss will freeze you all the time, and there's just a lot of debuffs from every single hero. So for the last one, you're basically gonna need a lot of cleansing. But yeah, that's all about the dungeons. There is nothing more about the dungeons themselves. So let's jump now into the artifacts themselves. So like I said, every awakening will unlock you a new artifact. For example, my whim, which is Awaken 2, has only access to the first artifact. The second one, you can see a star with 3. It means that you have to be Awaken 3. So for example, my Lise already has access to it, but the last one is still blocked because we need Awaken 5. So for example, my Lester, Holder, and my Ockman already have all of these 3 artifacts. So let's focus on the first one, because most probably all of you will have, or at least most of you have already access to the first artifact. So first of all, what statistics can you get? There's a very easy way to check what statistics can an artifact give you, and it's basically clicking on filter. When you selected the first artifact, those are all the statistics basically that you can have on an artifact as a main stat. Because as you can see, you're gonna have here on the top a main stat, and then you're gonna have substats. Substats, you can have all of them, as you can see here on the right side. However, every artifact will have a different main stat. So for example, this one, artifact number 1 from Awakening number 1, can only have HP flat, attack flat, death flat, but he can also have crit percentage, crit damage percentage, and mastery percentage. So as you can see, for example, right now, on my whim, even though it's only a 4-star, I'm using a HP flat. So I would love to have a 5-star artifact, but I just don't have anyone that is good enough with the substats I need. Overall, for the supports, I would really consider putting HP flat or defense flat. Again, depends on support, but most of them you will need HP flat on the very first artifact. As you can see, my list should also have HP flat. And then obviously, if you have multiple and you're able to farm them, then you're gonna look at the substats. For example, the substats on this artifact are very bad. However, this 6-star artifact, I got it from the Dragon Nest, which is basically those special dungeons that you can unlock when you push further and further in the campaign. And one of those gave me as a reward 6-star artifact. So honestly, I don't really like it. And let's check this one. This one is unfortunately attacked, so I can't really use them. Also very important, the first artifact is divided in 3 categories. So you're going to have support artifacts, attack artifacts, and defense artifact. So not every hero can use every artifact. For example, as you can see, all of those are attack, so they're going to have an attack artifact. Here we have a healer artifact, and Whim is considered as a defense artifact. So you're going to have 3 types of artifact for the first position. For my Lester, for example, I'm using crit damage for obvious reasons. For my Holder, if I'm not mistaken, I'm having crit rate. I'm not using mastery on him yet, just simply because I don't have enough of effect hit, and I don't trust on the bleeds yet. So for now, I'm having crit rate. Once I have enough of effect hit on my Holder, I will switch to mastery. And then on my Ockman, however, I do have mastery because crit rate, crit damage is completely useless on my Ockman. I have decent effect hit. Obviously, I would love to have more. But yeah, the substats are not great. In the substats for example, a daughter like Ockman, I would love to have speed, effect hit, HP percentage, defense percentage, effect resistance, etc. Obviously, you cannot have a substat that you already have as a main stat. So for example, here we honestly have crit rate. You won't be able to have crit rate here. Now, same here, HP percentage, HP mastery, it's not ideal. Currently, I would prefer, for example, speed, attack percentage, effect hit, etc. Mastery, yes, it's great, but if you don't land the bleeds, it's completely useless. And lately, for my Lester, we have speed, which is okay. Mastery is kind of useless for Lester. Effect hit, same, not really great. Crit rate is okay. What I would prefer to have here is obviously crit rate, crit damage I can, so crit rate, attack percentage, speed, and maybe HP or effect resistance. So overall, I'm not disappointed, but it could be better. So that's all for slot number 2. Now, slot number 1. Slot number 2 is divided in factions. So you're gonna have 4 of the artifacts. You're gonna have artifacts for the blue ones, the red ones, the blue ones, the green ones, and the yellow ones. It's the same as Tower of the Mark. So for those one, the main stats you can have is HP, attack flat, def flat, effect hit, effect resistance, healing effect. So for me, it's very easy. For Whim, I still cannot have a second artifact, but if I could have it, for me it most probably would be either HP flat or effect resistance. You don't need healing effect, he doesn't do any heals. You don't need effect hit, he doesn't apply any debuffs. Defense, I don't really care about his attacks. I know his attacks do damage based on defense, but it's completely useless. I would prefer HP, so his shields are better. And then again, when it comes to the substats, because you can also have substats, obviously you have substats here. For example, for my Whim, I would love to have HP percentage, speed, defense, effect resistance, etc. For my Lace, I can have the second one, and I have HP flat. I didn't put healing effect, because first of all, I don't know if I have any. No, I don't even have a healing effect on the second one for her. Effect resistance, I'm not that happy with it. So personally, I put HP flat because first of all, it's the biggest star and I get the most of statistics from it. Even though if I would have healing effect, I think I still prefer HP flat for her rather than healing effect. Now then in the substat, it's the same, HP percentage, def, speed, all the tanky support statistics. And why not healing effect in the substat? For my Lester, I went into attack. There is nothing else for a damage dealer that you should put in here. Substats, again the same, crit damage, crit rate, attack percentage, speed, and that's it. For my holder, I also have attack. Again, I would love to have an effect hit, but I just don't have any good one yet. I just need to farm more artifacts. But for my holder, I would rather prefer effect hit rather than flat attack attack. However, the substats are really good. We have speed, crit damage, crit rate, effect resistance, could be effect hit, but overall those are good stats, and something similar for holder Lester is amazing. And then finally we go here. So he has def flat, whatever. This is garbage. Like this I need to change. For my Oakman, 100% effect hit. We need effect hit. So now I'm gonna go and start farming the artifacts. And then lastly, we go into the very last artifact. For the very last artifact, you can have HP flat, attack flat, def flat, and speed. And for my Oakman right now, I have HP because I just want him to survive. I don't need more speed at the moment. Substats, obviously mastery, effect hit, def percentage, HP percentage, etc. You want him very tanky, but the main statistics to go for on every artifact or gear is effect hit, then mastery, then HP, then speed. On my holder, I actually have speed because he was too slow. I only running one speed set on him and one vampire, so I had to put something that gives him more speed. Obviously, later in the game, I think I'm gonna switch for attack, so his bleeds make more damage. Now, crit damage, effected is really good, mastery, okay, def, and crit damage at this stage we don't care. Again, effect hit, very important, then mastery, and then you just make him do damage once he puts the bleeds. However, for my Leicester, obviously attack flat. Now the substats are complete garbage. Again, I just don't have anything better. But I would love to have attack into crit rate, crit damage, speed. That's the ideal statistics you're looking for. However, if we take, for example, the supports for the last one, I would say every single support should have speed as the last artifact, especially heroes like, for example, Space, who is already basically a speed booster. Adding like speed for her is great. Now we could argue that, for example, Wim and Liz as the last artifact, I should put HP flat. But me personally, I think I will prefer speed. Now then again, it depends if you die often and you actually need this HP. But if they don't die fast enough and they have whatever it takes to survive, me personally, I will prefer speed. So yeah guys, if you have any doubts, you can always come back here, click on filter, you'll have all the main and substats on every artifact, so you can just check and use them as you want. Now obviously me personally, I still haven't been farming the artifacts because the artifacts unfortunately don't count for the main event, which are the Dwarven Ruins. But once the event for Dwarven Ruins is over and I can actually start farming artifacts without losing the event, I will do so. But for now, I still don't need them so much, so I'm just using whatever I have. But yeah guys, that's all from my end. This was an artifact guide. I hope the video will help you out. And yeah, I will see you in the next video guys. So yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao.